Yeah, she lives totally on her own in New Zealand, still on the boat. She moves pretty often and just kind of, goes where there's work and interesting things to do and fun to be had, so. I actually read about the story, so the court case that you see kind of briefly covered in the beginning, I read about it in the New York Times in 2009 and was just fascinated by the story and read a lot about it and kind of felt like her point of view wasn't really represented anywhere, and I was so curious about who this girl was and what her background was, and really kind of just wanted to give her the tools and opportunity to tell her own story in a film and work with her to do that. From working on the film. In the course of working on the film, I actually took a totally unplanned trip across the Pacific Ocean on another boat. The goal was to film Laura at some point during that trip, but she thought it would be really funny to race the boat that I was on and beat us by a lot because she's an amazing sailor. So I spent 3 weeks crossing the Pacific, which turned out to be a really formative experience, just very important experience for making the film. I did not get any footage, but it was quite an experience. A lot of sunsets. Yes. Yeah. A lot of stuff.
What was the most valuable lesson that she passed on to you while you were making this film?
Oh wow. I think once I asked her, what would you tell other young kids who have a dream, and Laura said, I might butcher this. If you want to do something, you don't need to know that you can do it. You just have to try. And this is my first film. There were a lot of times when I didn't know that I could do it or if I could do it, but I kept trying. And I think our dreams sort of intersected in an interesting way, and each sort of enabled the other to realize a dream. So
I think we got time for one more question. Okay, right down the back.
Does she, she seems like the next evolutionary species above whatever. And I was wondering, does she have any crazy goals next? I mean, she seems like she should be, like, graduating to space travel next.
She actually wants to sail, she really wants to sail around the North Pole. She needs a steel boat to do that, so it would involve raising some more, earning money and selling guppy, because guppy probably wouldn't make that trip very well. But she wanted to sail totally around the Americas, so around Cape Horn and then up around the North Pole.
Let her know that we're all playing for Kickstarter.
Yeah, she's coming on.
All right, we gotta end it there, but thank you guys so much.
Cool. Oh, we'll be the Shady Grove if anybody has other questions or wants to hang out and drink and be there.
And remember the audience to
Oh, and please don't forget to rip your little thingy and give it to someone.